Story time! SgtKeeneye. So, you might have thought it was the end of my roommate adventures from the video I put up quite a many months ago. It was definitely last year. I think it was sometime around December, because that's when we originally had our meeting or something like that. So, as I left off, I explained how he was really trashy, how he would leave trash everywhere, how he would leave food out, and how he would use our stuff and not wash it, and how he was really obsessed with anime. He basically was, the best way I could describe this guy is he's an otaku who is very socially awkward, because that's usually how otakus are. If you don't know what an otaku is, it's someone who is very compulsively obsessed with anime, and that is who my roommate basically is. Like, there's no other way to explain him that way. It's really bad. Like, cosplay items everywhere. There's nothing wrong with cosplay, but when you mix it with everything he does together, it's pretty bad. So what has he done since, like, he's last left? Okay, he's done a few things. So he definitely kept making, trash and messes everywhere. It was pretty bad. He kept doing it, and we're just like, what, bro? Like, we had to keep making him clean up and remind him constantly, over and over and over, and he just didn't get it. And we also had another problem come up. I don't know if I mentioned this last video, but he had like a changing problem, like, shirt and pants changing problem. And you might be like, what do you mean a changing problem? He had issues with whether or not it is appropriate in certain areas to change and have your stuff lying around. So, normal people, normal dude changes in, like, the bathroom if he has, like, people in his room usually, or I don't really care. Like, if I'm changing, someone's in the room, I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm changing my pants and shirt, I don't care. If I change my boxers, I'm probably gonna go in the bedroom. But he would change in the living room area, like the area where all the people go, and he would just leave his clothes, like, on the couch and stuff, and just clothes all over the couch, and, like, leave his things out there. And we had to explain to him a couple times, like, this is embarrassing, dude. We can't have, like, people coming over, walking in the door, like, just opening the door right up and, like, hey, what's up, dude? Is that a pair of boxers on your couch? Like, you can't have that. That's not a normal thing. Like, dude, we have to explain to him. I mean, you might have changed in your living room at your parents' house, but you're sharing this house with 3 other dudes who have people come over pretty constantly. And having your boxes lying on the couch, it's pretty fucking gross, bro. You can't do that. And then he eventually just got scared of changing in front of us and would only change in the bathroom. I don't care if he changed in here, but when he did change in here, he did it really awkwardly, like he was uncomfortable. It's like, hey, you can change in the bathroom. It's basically the same thing, and you wouldn't have any issues, and blah, yada yada. And then he, like, never changed in the room anymore. He would always go in the bathroom. But god damn it, AVG, get out of here. Yeah, stupid AVG. I should just get rid of AVG. Or maybe I need to do that update. That's what I should probably do. Anyways, the trash and the food is still a consistent issue. It got worse. It definitely got worse. You know how, like, common sense tells you, the CS, common sense tells you, when you leave food out all day, or even multiple days, or overnight at the very least, that stuff is bad. You can't eat it. You're probably going to get sick if you eat it, unless you nuke it for, like, 10,000 hours in the microwave. You're going to get sick. Well, I have some pictures I'm going to have come up on the screen. He left some pork out. This picture's gonna come up. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. It was sitting on the counter, this pork. Not just like, oh, you left it out for a day with the lid on. No, there's no lid on it. It's not like Oh, it's just you left pork out. I'll put it away for you, bro. No, he walked by it every single day. I know he did, and he saw it. He definitely saw it because he knows where the stuff is, and he left it there for 3 weeks with no lid on. No lid. You know. Oh, pork, meat, especially pork that goes bad faster than other meat items, out for 3 weeks. Look at it. It's disgusting. You can see like the fat. That fat is rotting on there. It's gross. And let's move on to the next item. Let's move on to the eggs. You know, eggs. You know, common sense tells you you don't leave dairy products out. Eggs are a dairy product, if you didn't know. It is a product that comes from a chicken, which can be grown on farms, so it is considered a dairy product. He left that out for 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, about the same as the pork. Just sitting there, these eggs just sitting there, out right next to a microwave and the sink. Just walked by it every day, didn't use his eggs, and when we brought this up to the RA, this next meeting we had, because we had a meeting after this, because we're just like, what the hell, dude? You didn't fix anything after the meeting. Like, you were fine for a week, and then second week you started getting worse, and the third week it was just bad, and then he went home for winter break, and all of this stuff was here. His reasoning for this was, I thought because it was in a shell that it didn't go bad. Now, he didn't say that. He's like, I thought because shell protected it. No. If you leave eggs out for like 4 hours, especially next to any type of heat source, they're bad. Eggs and meat go bad really fast if you do not have them preserved in some way. And, you know, preserving method here, put it in the damn fridge where it's like 30 degrees in there, where it doesn't go bad, not the danger zone area. So we had this rot eggs everywhere, and then we had smelly pork, and I'm not done. So when he left to go to winter break, here's a picture, guys. It's about to come. You know how I was talking about boxers? Boxers. Right on the floor, just clothes on the floor. Just I left out. I walked out of my room because I'm the only one who stayed here for winter break, and boxers on the floor. I'm like, what the hell's this? Are you kidding me? Like boxers, bro? I took pictures of all of these because I wanted proof that this guy was leaving these things, like saying like, oh, you could be making it up. I'm not making it up. He left stuff everywhere. I mean, I could show you guys more pictures, but it would just get tedious. It's just basically trash everywhere, just piled up. Oh my God! I almost forgot about the creamy rice. You guys want to know what the creamy rice is? It's rice in a styrofoam container. Bam! With water in it, sitting there for 2 weeks. I call it cream of rice. It's pretty gross. I mean, this actually one doesn't look too bad, but when you think about it, this is rice that's been sitting in water out in the open air for 2 weeks. Next to rotting pork, rotting eggs, and a bunch of other assorted trashes that are just laying about in the open air with no lid on. So we have another RA meeting. She says, we have the discussion with him and say that, you know, we're not your parents. Like, bro, we're not your parents. It's not our job. We're not mom and dad. I'm not dad, and you know, the rest of the roommates, I don't know who would the mom be, but they're not mom. Like, no. It's disrespectful for us to have to clean after you. We're not your parents. We don't clean after you. You're a big boy. You're a big boy. You're grown up. You're living in the world with your animes and your cosplay stuff that you got, like a bow and arrow that is not a real bow and arrow, and some pretty girly stuff from some things. All to you, bro. You like that, whatever. You're a grown man. It's not our job to clean up after you. And RA explains that, like, yo, you're breaking this rule right here, the clean and cleanly environment rule, the community standard, blah, 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 blah. Basically tells us after he stepped out for something that if he breaks it again, he could get evicted. She tells him this too. He can get evicted or switch rooms. So I'm like, bam, hallelujah. I already have a dude in there. I'm like, the bro from last year, Charmal, or one of my ex-roommates, I was like, we have him come in. Hell yeah. We definitely have him come in because that would be awesome. So he eventually does end up breaking it by more trash. Dangerous fire coming from the stove with nothing on it. You know, just a pan and some hot fire after already finished cooking, just leaving there. And you know, one time the fire went out and the gas was still going, and one of my roommates, Hal, smelt it and was like, "What the F, bro?" I don't want to like excessively curse right now, but he was like, "What the fuck?" And it could smell the gas from his room. His room is 25 feet away at the very least, and the door was closed, and he could smell gas. And he was out there and couldn't smell the gas. He was just oblivious to it. He probably was just zoomed into his computer or something like that. I don't even know. It was just bad. It's like, dude, like, get the fuck off of your computer and turn the flame off. Like, how hard is that to understand? So we wanted to move in, my bro. And we're talking to started talking to the area director, and he said he considered our thing, and we had to all have a meeting to discuss the problem. And so I talked to my roommate, Brent, the one who's doing all of this, and I basically say, like, yo, I'm being the good guy, sitting at a table. I'm like, yo, he's over here. I don't even know. Yo, apparently he's much smaller than me. I feel like I'm talking to, like I said, a child. He's a child. I said this in the previous video. I'm like, I don't want you to get evicted. The meeting's already set up, and it's like I basically said that'd be really messed up to have you get evicted. I have someone who will switch with you. It will get rid of all our problems. We won't have to deal with you, and and you won't have to deal with us because we're just not working out as roommates. And the roommates you would move in with are much more lenient when it comes to these things, and you'd have a much better time. And he agreed to this time, and I was like, can we go right now? And he's like, oh no, I have to go, when he never has ever had to do things on Monday. All of a sudden has to do something. Oh well, maybe he did. And so he said one on Tuesday. I said that the other roommate was busy on Tuesdays, and then we agreed on Wednesdays. So let's skip to the Tuesday. Haven't seen him all day. Chilling in my room. Waiting for him to come because we got to go do that thing in the morning the next day. Dude doesn't show up. Don't know where he is. TikTok-a-locking. Not coming. Dude's not there. And it was like 12 or something. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sleep. I get woken up at 1 p.m. Because Tramal got locked out of his room, which is the roommate that I was going to have move in. And he was banging on my slider, and I let him in. And I go and check up on the bed because I don't see Brent up there. So I go and step up on my bed to see if he's up there, and my head just became a clock. Deal with it, all right? That is my nose, all right? My nose has enlarged to a massive size. He's not up there. I'm mad. I'm steaming. Steam is boiling out of my head, and Tramal could tell. He left the room, and I was like, I'm going to sleep because I didn't want to think about this. I didn't want to stay up all night, like, just getting mad, so I just went to sleep. Woke up the next morning. Dude's still not there. I'm getting mad. I went to my classes. Came back. Dude still hasn't came. Waited up pretty much till like 10:30 because I just wanted to go to sleep and didn't want to deal with this stuff. And I was mad. I was telling my roommate one of my roommates, actually both of them, how if he comes in, because it was already past the time where we agreed that we were going to go to the office and do the switcheroo. So he is basically avoiding me for 2 days when we had this agreement. I go to sleep. Apparently, he comes in at 2 a.m. Hal goes out there and was like, we need to talk. So, they had him sit at the table again. And Hal's over here, and Brent is over here. Yes, he has shrank even more. He can no longer sit on the chair. Hal goes and says, Chris is already in the paperwork of getting you evicted. And then he was like, no, we had an agreement that we were going to switch the rooms. And he was like, yes, you did have an agreement. Yesterday, because it was now Thursday, 2 a.m. in the morning. And he was like, oh. And then he basically got him to agree to do the switch on Thursday in the morning, and we were able to get Jamal. We went over there, and the dude wasn't there, so we weren't able to do the switch. And this is not my idea. Hal said, let's switch him anyways and do the paperwork on Monday. I said, whatever. There's nothing I can really do. This is also my first day of... Was it my first day? I think it was my first day of going into work. Thursday or Wednesday. One of the two. I don't remember exactly. And Friday, we get Jamal gets a paper. You need to switch back into your room. Somehow he figured out. I'm guessing Brent had his meeting on that Friday and told him. And then we all had our meetings and discussed what happened and what we did. And somehow all of the punishment got put right on smack down my face. This is one of the reasons why I'm now considering I'm not going to be living in the same apartments next year, because this is some bullcrap. Because this is a completely different tangent. I sent this dude many emails back and forth about how it is not fair. When we agreed on 2 hours of service that I'd have to do for going against his the community guidelines, how I got five hours, 3 more hours, 3 or 2.5 times the original amount we agreed on. And he was like, no, you got to do it anyways. I don't care. I'm not changing my mind. Yada, yada, yada. Basically until I couldn't appeal the thing anymore. And I'm just like, you know what? Screw you, dude. So I already did 3 hours, and I'm going to finish my 2 hours really soon. The other 2 hours left really soon. And he just would not budge. He basically told me he was going to give everyone that was involved in the move 2 hours. But instead of giving it to Tramal and Hal, gave his 2 hours, or their 2 hours, to me. He was just like, oh, even though you're not the one who came up with the idea to move them without doing the paperwork, I'm going to give you all the punishments. All the damn punishments. And you're going to get screwed. And I hate this dude. This is a completely different thing. So, Brent also has punishments for other reasons. And he's got to do his thing. He's told me if he breaks the rules again, to go straight to my RA, and he'll get evicted. Or he'll get switched rooms. Pretty much my roommate that I wanted to will probably not move into here. And me and one of my other roommates and my girlfriend are probably going to go live in an apartment somewhere else next year or in this summer, because this is just a bunch of crapaloni. But anyways, I mean, there hasn't been a lot of change. It's just now he's on a thin string. If he fucks up, he's done. And it's screwed up that I got punished in my own way. I should have maybe done maybe more of a video cam episode for this, but I just felt like drawing. It's like, what the fuck? Why am I getting punished? I understand getting punished for doing the move, but it wasn't my idea to not do the paperwork. Yeah, I get punished for it anyways. So I basically hate this dude, and I told him, I'm like, dude, you're my landlord. You're not the person who tells me what to do. Or to punish me. Like, you're my, or what was it? He was trying to say that he was like a professor to me, and I'm like, I see you as a landlord, like your staff here. You're not my professor. You're not teaching me things. You're being an asshole by punishing me unfairly. I think that's about it. He's on a very thin string. He's being okay for now, and he's being really scared. Like, if we walk in the kitchen, he'll walk into the kitchen and clean everything and ask you if it's okay. or he'll try and talk to me. Luckily, I haven't had to deal with him much because I've been working graveyard 4 days a week. So I'm making money and I don't get to see him as often. So it's a win-win situation for me. But anyways, that's my roommate update part 2. It will probably be the last unless he gets kicked out. But I don't think he will. I think he's going to be cleanly boy as long as we're in the area. He instantly will clean up and there was nothing we can really report him to. So it's not too bad, I have to say. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. SgtKeeneye signing out with Storytime. SgtKeeneye.